Will it work? Will it work? Oh, it says we're live. I'm not sure. Yeah. Feeling good on a Wednesday. Let's do some social media. Yep, apparently we're live. Live in the workshop. Let's send in a couple of tweets. There we go. All right. How's it holding up? So, hi. Welcome to the Sorenzo Prop Show, live from the workshop. We've been having a lot of technical difficulties today with our internet and with our server. So I'm not sure if this will even work. I'm not sure if the internet is actually receiving this, but hopefully we can get through the next hour or so with no interruptions. If it does go dead, well, tough, really. But yeah, you can watch this on YouTube. No one's actually watching, so let's just send out another little couple of things. You can have a wee look around my workshop there. And we're starting, we're live. There we go. Okay. So, yeah, not really sure what's gonna happen today. We've got a list of things that we can talk about. I'm hoping that a few people will come along and actually join in and maybe ask me some questions, give me some chat, because it's quite boring here on my own in the workshop. I've got my cup of tea, and that's about it. So let's start from the beginning. So this is the first video from Sorenzo Props for the year. I really thought that I would get one done in January, but it was just January just flew by, man. It sucks coming back after Christmas, doesn't it? You just like spend the whole month being really unproductive and really fat and stuff. So yeah, I'm finally getting around to making some videos. I had the camera out this week and I made 2 videos this week. So this will be my first, and then there should be a second and should be a third later on in the week. We have a viewer. Amazing. Oh wow. Maybe one might beat my record of 5, including my mum. Hey, hi mum, if that's you watching. So yeah, the big plan for this year is to make more videos, because I know you guys like videos. I'm hoping to do the Sorenzo Prop Show a lot more, maybe every couple of weeks. I've got more news on coming weeks later on in the show. Want to do more videos showing you how to make stuff, how I make stuff. So I want to do tutorial videos showing you the ins and outs of what I do, hopefully giving you a few tips and pointers for your own cosplay and prop builds. I also started something which I am really happy with. 1-day builds. So what I want to do is every couple of weeks, maybe every couple of months, I want to take a day off and I want to build something in 1 day. A small little prop piece, something cool, something fun, something nifty, something I know that I can get done in a day. You look behind me, you can see the Daft Punk helmet, you can see the red hood helmet, and they're, you know, beautiful pieces to work on, space guns and swords, but they can take days, weeks, months, and it's a long time to wait to see a beautiful finished piece. So what I want to do is be able to build something really, really quickly, so at the end of the day I can say, yippee, I've got an amazing prop piece for myself. So I recorded my first one at the weekend. I didn't get a chance to edit the video because that takes a bit of time, but I might give you a wee sneak peek of it. Here we go. So some of you on my Facebook page, you might saw this. Yes, it's a stick. It's just a stick. It is the Stick of Truth from the South Park game, which is one of my all-time favorites. Let me see if I got an image of it. Yeah, here we go. So there's Cartman holding up the Stick of Truth, and there it is in all its splendor. And yeah, it's just a silly little stick, but I thought it was awesome, so I wanted to make one that was as accurate as possible to the images. So let's see how we are. It's not bad, is it? Pretty decent. So yeah, I'm going to upload that video hopefully by the weekend. I should get it done. And then the week after that, I will have another video, but we'll talk about that later. So let's do a little recap on what's happened and what is going to happen in the future. So yeah, you can see the Daft Punk helmets. I have been buffing that helmet like crazy for the last week or so. So last year was pretty much taken up with a lot of Daft Punk stuff. You might remember that I had a huge commission to build. I'm going to sit down. Can you see me if I sit down? I look like a midget. I had a big commission to build 2 Daft Punk helmets and all the trimmings with all the LEDs and everything, and that was due for a party in September. Long story short, didn't manage to get all of the LEDs finished in time. There was a tight deadline for the party and things went horribly wrong. I learned had a lot of problems with chrome. Chrome is an absolute nightmare, and in my never-ending quest to get the most perfect pristine finish, I made several fuck-ups, basically. No fault of my own, no fault of the chromers, it just kind of happened, trial by error, which is part of this game. So yeah, deadline was missed. Guy got the helmets, the party happened, apparently it was a blast, but I still need to get these helmets finished with all the LEDs, so that is going to be happening this month. The Thomas mold will be done later this week, so I have a shiny new mold for shiny new cast, which should make the cleaning process, the cleanup process, the prepping process a lot smoother, and hopefully get a better chrome at the end of the day. Daft Punk commissions. Yep, I've made quite a few Daft Punk helmets, but they're incredibly hard work, man. They're really, really tough, really labor intensive, and there's a lot of pressure to make sure that the finish is perfect and they look beautiful as they should do. So what I've done is I've decided that I'm only going to make a limited number of Daft Punk helmets a year. And I think I'm going to stick with 2, possibly 4, depending how things go. And commissions are going to be open for those. So what you can see is, I think you should be able to see this now. Here in my Facebook page, you go down to the notes section. There is Daft Punk helmet information, and there's a whole big document there of how you can go ahead and what am I doing? How you can go ahead and contact me about building a Daft Punk. It's got all the prices, all the different variations, all the time you're going to have to wait. So it helps answer a lot of questions, saves me emailing people all of the time. So yeah, check that out. It's in the notes section of the Sorenzo Props Facebook page. Not a lot of people can actually find that. They have a bit of difficulty in finding it, but it is there if you look for it. So yeah, going to limit myself to 2 helmets per year, and that way I can focus on building other cool, awesome things. Yeah. What else has been happening? So yeah, I mentioned earlier that Thomas was being molded, and the Red Hood has been molded. That's going to happen this weekend. I have been selling them on Etsy, the baskets, the pre-sale, and I will be closing that this weekend. Let me see, can I get this up? Yeah, so basically I've reduced the price of the helmet cast kits to compensate for the weight, because it's taken me like 6 or 8 weeks to get the whole molding process done, and then Christmas got in the way as well. So that will be finishing. This weekend. So if you are looking to get yourself, I'm not going to try and get to the internet, it's going really slow. If you're looking to get yourself a bargain, a discounted helmet, now would be the time to do that. So we have the Thomas version of the Daft Punk helmet and the Red Hood helmet. I think there's about 25% knocked off the price. So if you want to get one of those, they'll be going back up to full price next week. So jump on board that. What else has been going on? I don't know yet. The next week or two, next couple of weeks has been dedicated to Daft Punk and catching up on orders and stuff like that. But I am open for new commissions. So again, in that note section, there is a document there which tells you all about how to make contact with me if you want a commission request. We spoke about this before. a lot of people just email me and they're like, hey, how much for this? How much for this sword? How much for this helmet? How much for this space gun? And it's not a simple process like that. I can't really just sort of look at it and go, this much, because there's a lot of research needs to go into things. I need to know what sort of, what materials you want to use, how you want the object to work. Is there LEDs and is there lights? Is there any sort of technicalities I should be worried about? Do you want it to move or open up? All these sort of things. Some people are quite happy just to get a really quick foam prop like such, which is a day and can be made for like, less than $100. But I tend to work on the sort of more highly detailed, precise, accurate pieces like Daft Punk helmets. I want to do something right, so I don't tend to do a lot of foam builds. So it takes a little bit of time to research how much a commission is going to cost, how much time it's going to take me. Do I need to hire anybody else? Do I need to get any special tools or equipment? And all that research takes time, and that's time that I'm not getting paid, that I'm not making anything, I'm not in the workshop doing something. So I ask for people to provide me with a lot of information to help me reach a price, to research the price a lot quicker. So that document can be found in the notes section of my Facebook page, along with the Daft Punk stuff. So yeah, you should go check it out if you're interested in talking to me about making a commission request. I am open for absolutely anything. Can't really start anything until March, maybe April, but I've certainly got the rest of the year is pretty much wide open now, which is brilliant. What is going to be happening? I've got a couple commissions up at the moment. I can't tell you. Can I tell you? I can't tell you about some of them. I can tell you about one of them. I'm going to have some tea. So my first one, after I get this Daft Punk stuff out of the way, my first commission is going to be the Magneto helmet from Days of Future Past. It kind of got held up. It was supposed to start last year, but it got held up. So I'm really excited to get that one going. I'm hoping that I can get that done in a couple of weeks and get it boshed out. I really like that costume. It's freaking awesome. So I may even contemplate cosplaying it at some point. Since I have the helmet, it'd be rude not to, wouldn't it? So yeah, that's pretty much it. If you're anybody watching live, the internet is really struggling. My computer is making the craziest sound. I really hope it doesn't cut out. I really hope someone's actually watching. We got any viewers? Feel free to ask me questions in the Q&A app. I'd love to get involved. Yeah, so commissions are open. It's going to be making the Magneto helmet. What else is going to be happening? Here we go. Oh, we're getting some messages coming through. I must go find them. Here we go. Yeah, there's a couple of other commissions that are kind of being firmed up at the moment. One that's not really prop related, but is pretty epic. And a couple of others that are prop related that I haven't really got the go ahead on yet. So I'm just going to wait and firm them up and let you know about them as soon as we possibly can. What can I tell you about? Okay, yeah. This is something that I've been mulling over for a while. I think we've had some. Oh, here we go. Here, Terry Sci-Fi. Okay, yeah. So we've got our first question coming in. Excellent. Thanks for joining us, Terry. You enjoy making helmets out of cardboard, and you've no patience for Pepakura, and you're going to try foam soon. Any tips? Yep. So for those of you who don't know what Pepakura is a brilliant, is it Japanese? I think it's Japanese program that basically can turn three-dimensional models that you create on a computer using CAD software. It can turn them into paper templates that you can then cut out and join together to create a three-dimensional shape, which is absolutely amazing. It's really cheap, really affordable, because you can print it out on your printer at home, and it gives you these little tabs that you stick together, and everything's numbered, so it just goes together like a giant three-dimensional jigsaw, really. So working with paper, it can be quite flimsy. I remember back way before I even started Sorenzo props, I made a couple of Daft Punk helmets out of it, and it's just like they were paper thin, they got crumpled and everything. But the whole theory behind it is then you can go and you can put some epoxy, or you can put some fiberglass on it to strengthen it, and then you can put bodge on that, you can put Bondo on that, sand it back, and create a perfect smooth finish. But it is a little bit tricky to work with, so a lot of people over the last couple of years have started working with foam instead of paper. What sort of foam? This sort of foam. So we've got EVA floor mats. So these are bought off eBay, off Amazon. They're like, excuse me, they're like 10 mil thick, and it's a really sort of closed cell foam that is a little bit flexible but quite rigid. And people are actually using this to build armor, to build helmets, to build all sorts of crazy, amazing things. And it doesn't crumple in your hands like paper does, and it gives you a more rigid thing, a more rigid piece, a more rigid helmet or armor piece. This can then be coated with fiberglass or special epoxies to give it a more rigid feel, or it can just be painted as is. It can be sealed with some PVA or some wood glues or even some plastic dip, and then it can be painted upon, and it looks just as good as something that you could spend, you know, days molding and casting. So tips for working with foam. I don't do a lot of foam work. I'm starting to do a bit more foam work for myself personally, but definitely if you are working with foam, what you need to check out is the Evil Ted Smith channel on YouTube. Ted Smith is a prop legend, working out in Hollywood, I think, last, I don't know, like 20 years, something like that. But he is absolutely amazing. And last year he started a YouTube channel. His first video was showing you how to take a pattern off your own head and build a custom helmet out of foam. And it was absolutely incredible. He did it so quickly, made it look so effortless. And I do believe that today, if maybe yesterday, he did a new video series for foam armor for men. I believe he's done foam armor for women, and he shows you everything from how you go about making the templates, how you get it to fit right, how you go about cutting the foam, joining it, sealing it, and latex. He really details everything really clearly, really precisely, better than I could ever do it. So I would definitely check out the Evil Ted channel if you're going to be working with foam. So I hope that helps, Derry. Good luck with all your foam building, or send me a picture, show me what it's all about. Hopefully you'll tune into one of the next Sorenzo prop shows and we can see what you've done. So yeah, brilliant. We've got someone watching. It's not my mum. Woohoo! I'm sure mum is there somewhere. So what were we talking about? Yeah, foam. There's a lot of people who do amazing work with foam. When I first started this, it was all about molding and casting, and a lot of people were limited because they didn't have the funds to go and spend $300 on silicon. But now EVA foam came out, and people are able to make like full suits of armor that look absolutely crazy. Oh, here we go. Yeah, they're making absolutely crazy things out of foam, like things you would not believe. And it doesn't require a lot of skill. It doesn't require a lot of money. You know, I think this whole pack here, there's like 8 or 10 sheets of foam. It cost me like £10, £12 delivered off Amazon, and you could probably easily make a suit of armor with that. A couple of cans of paint, and you're good to go. So speaking of foam, I just got a tweet from Mike from What You See Here Creative. Mike came on the Sorenzo Prop show last year. I can't remember when. I think it must be November or something like that. And we just basically hung out and with his dog Boba and talked loads of crap. And I believe I challenged him to a foam building competition. So I mentioned that the Evil Ted channel, he has a 3-part video which shows you how to create a template off your own head, how to go ahead and make a custom template for a helmet, and then make the helmet that fits your head perfectly, and you can make a completely unique design helmet very, very simply, very, very quickly. So I challenged Mike to come to the workshop here some weekend, and we could both go head to head and build foam helmets, and then let you guys decide who is the best. So yes, Mike, we need to book a date for that. So I will talk to you after show, or you can give me a date now. I don't really mind, but let's do it. Let's do it. It's war, foam wars. Let's go. So that should be interesting. I'm not sure if we'll be able to do that in a day though. Like, we probably could, but 2 days might be better to give it paint time to dry. I don't know. We'll figure out the details later on, but it will be all good. Brilliant. So yeah, foam. I want to do a lot more foam work. I'm hoping one of my New Year's resolutions, not New Year's resolutions, my goal for 2015. I don't like New Year's resolutions because it's something that you typically just don't do. Say in January, and you never do it. So one of my goals for 2015 is to build myself a suit of armor. So I'm hoping that at some point in the spring, before the con season goes absolutely crazy, that I might just take, maybe give myself a challenge, 4 or 5 days, and just build a suit of armor for myself, and maybe make a video of it as well. But that is a big goal. Everybody else seems to have done that years ago, and I am way behind. So I've got a couple of ideas of what I would like to build, but we'll reveal that later on. So yeah, foam, a lot more foam build. This was built out of foam. Yeah. My foam stick, it still hurts when you hit people on the head with it, but it was a very, very quick foam build, and it just goes to show what you can do with a bit of floor mat, which is crazy. It's a really, really nice product to work with. I'm quite enjoying it. So where were we? What was I talking about? Yeah, I've got commissions coming up, blah blah blah. Yeah, so another tip for Terry, which I completely forgot about, which will bring me seamlessly on to my next point. There's a very awesome guy called Bill Duran, who runs a company called Punish Props in the States. You've probably seen his work if you've ever been on the internet and you're into this sort of stuff, you've probably seen him or his work. He makes awesome videos as well. He does a weekly show, which is great. But he has released a 3-part trilogy of books called The Foamsmith, and it's all about how to build suit of armor out of foam. I have all 3 of them, and they're amazing. They're amazing. They detail everything you possibly want to know about making stuff out of foam. He shows you all the tips and tricks how to use it. He even goes into undergarments that you can wear with it, how to paint cloth, how to secure it to your body using straps, how to put LEDs in it, how to seal it, how to build it. It's a really, really great book. And I think he's selling them. I know they're $5 each, $5 each, but I think he's got a bundle that's like 10 or 12 bucks. But go check out punishprops.com, and he'll be able to hook you up with this book. I've got a set of them, they're brilliant, and a really, really cheap way of getting into it. A lot of information there for very little money. So what's this? Oh, Terry's back. Yes, Terry. I do cosplay. I have done a little bit of cosplay in the past. What have I done so far? Let me see. I did a Jedi last May the 4th really quickly. I went to a convention down in Doncaster, which was brilliant. A nice wee day away. So it was May the 4th that the convention was on. So I did a Jedi. You may in my YouTube channel, I had a lightsaber build challenge. Me and my buddy Tom here in the workshop. We did a £10. A £1 store lightsaber. So what we had £10, and we went into the £1 store and we bought 10 items, and then we took those items back to the workshop, and we spent a day turning them into lightsabers. So that's on my YouTube channel if you want to go check that out. And a very, very quick way of building something really, really cool. So yeah, I did that. I also did Beardy Finn from Adventure Time. I created Adventure Time sword. I don't have any kicking around here. I've done the Red Hood cosplay, which is brilliant. See the red hood here. This is the Black Max mold. But an amazing photo shoot with Alistair Watson Photography. So I think you can check that out on my Facebook page. It's definitely on my Flickr. And I have some really big plans for cosplay for this year. So yeah, better watch this space. There's got some big announcements that are going to be coming up in the coming weeks about cosplay. And one that I'm really, 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 really excited about, but I can't say anything just yet. So yes, Terry, I do cosplay, and I'll be doing a hell of a lot more of it this year. And the foam suit of armor will be a big one this year as well. I'm hoping to get that done before the summer. Will be a good time. So yeah, I mentioned those books to check out from Bill Duran and Punish Props. Definitely go ahead and have a look at those. And I am going to jump on the bandwagon myself, and I am going to write a book. Will I give the details? The details of the book. What am I going to do? I've been keeping it a little bit secret because I've been kind of just planning it and making notes and scribbles and seeing is it actually feasible. But there's a lot of people out there that are doing a lot of making. People are getting into this. They're building costumes, they're building props, they're building armor. They're at all different levels of expertise, and there's new people coming along all the time. You got like a place like the rpf.com, which is just full of information. But what I've found is there's nothing for someone who is a complete beginner, like a total noob, who has no idea how to make anything. So what I want to do is I want to write a book for people just like that. And I'm thinking that it's going to be called Sorenzo's 101s or something like that. So what I'm thinking is 101, oh, excuse me, too much tea. 101 tips for the complete beginner, and just really look at the very basics of making, not just for cosplay, not just for props, but just for making stuff in general. So, you know, you say, oh, it's very easy, just go and glue it together. What glue do you use? What property is that? What's the best one? How long does it take to cure? Answering all these questions. What can I use to cut this material? What's the best material to go and make something like this? How do I paint something? Looking at the real simple things. A lot of videos out there are like, just do this. And it's like, well, what do I use to do that? How do I go about doing that? Are there any tips? So that's what I'm thinking my book will be. Just looking at the real sort of basics of things. I'm hoping that it will be not just for the complete beginners, but for people who have that experience or amateur builders. There might be something in there that they did not know, little tricks and tips that I picked up over the years, but just try and make sure that it appeals to as many people as possible. But really sort of simple basics, fundamentals that you need to be successful at building stuff, you know. So yeah, I'm really excited about that. It's a bit weird. I'm not really good at writing. I don't like writing. It reminds me of school, but I'm going to persevere and I'm going to get it done. So I'm hoping to get that done in the next couple of months. It definitely won't be out before March, but I'm kind of aiming for April summertime launch. So yeah, fingers crossed that I can sort of get my finger out and get that done. It'll be quite awesome. So yep, remember, if you're watching, we have got a few people watching. Feel free to ask some questions on the Q&A app there, and I'll be quite happy to respond and to talk to you and see what's going on. I'm assuming Mom's watching now. Let me see, what else have we got? Any more questions? No, no more questions. So yeah, cosplay related. Yeah, I do have quite a big announcement, cosplay related. But I can't make it just yet. I'm going to wait. I'm going to hold off a little bit. But I can tell you that in March, I will be going down to London to LSDC, which is London's Super Comic Con. And I am really excited about that because it is cosplay crazy. So it's a 2-day event. It's down in the Expo in London, it's along the Docklands. That's where they have the MCM Expo as well. And it is, yeah, cosplay. It's crazy. They've got Builderan from Punished Props. They have Yaya Han coming to be a judge. They have got Kumi Props coming, or Kumi Cosplay as well. And let me just get up to the thing. They've got so many people. Forgotten how many people that are coming. I think Tabitha Lyons is going to be there as well. Here we go, costuming. Let me just get the list up to get it right. So yeah, the cosplay competition is being judged by Yaya Han, who we all know, of course. Kamui is coming over from Germany. Builderan is coming over from the States, which would be awesome. Get to hang out with him. We've also got Ansela and Nikita Cosplay are coming. I think they're judges as well. And Ansela and Nikita. And that's it. Oh, I thought there was more. There was another page that had more cosplay guests. But yeah, it's a crazy cosplay event, and I'm really looking forward to that. So that is going to be on the 14th and the 15th of March this year. So it's like, what? It's like 6 weeks, 5 weeks away. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to that. And the cosplay competition should be brilliant. And the first prize is a trip to Dragon Con, which would be very nice indeed. That's also on my my goals for 2015 is to get to Dragon Con somehow. I don't know how. I really don't know how, but I'll figure it out. I'll figure it out. That's my big goal for this year. So yeah. Okay, so let me see how we're doing. Halfway there. I'm running out of stuff to talk about. It's always the way, isn't it? What can we do? What does that say? No, no, no. Yeah, we got some dead air. So I don't think, have you guys seen my workshop yet? I don't think you have, no. There is a video on my YouTube channel which was made last year by a guy called Calvin Bannister, and he did a little sort of documentary on me, but it never really showed you much around the studio. But yeah, this is the workspace. I've got my own little corner here. It's a shared workspace with a number of different companies all sharing a workshop, which is really quite handy because there's a lot of tools and equipment here that I could probably never afford. It would take me 20 years to build a business, to build them, to be able to buy tools and equipment like that. So it's really quite handy, and we all get to share and hang and have a laugh. And I get to sit down here and talk to myself in front of the camera. So yeah, this is my little workspace. I try and sort of work myself in this little triangle here. This desk over here is for sort of wet and sloppy and dirty work. You can see that this cutting board is destroyed and covered with glue and paint and all sorts of crazy stuff. Got my tool cabinet over here with my tapes and stuff. And then over here, I've got all my glues and fillers and adhesives and stuff. And this is more of a sort of a clean working space. Got materials and odds and ends quite here. So it's kind of like, you know, like in your kitchen, you have your sort of little triangle. If you've got your food preparation and your cleaning and your cooking, it's kind of like that, but for the prop world. So dirty, filthy glues and stuff. Tools nice and clean over here, and nice and clean working area over here as well. Materials and storage all up along here. And here, what you can see, is my painting desk, painting table. So this is where I try and keep it as clear as possible. Usually it's just got my phone and my jacket and my keys and stuff, but it's got my airbrush and my paints and everything. I try and keep that separate. And all around the studio you'll see lots of lights so that I can see what I'm doing. So it's a nice little place. It's a nice little place to hang out. So yeah, we've got 5 viewers. So hey, why don't you just ask me a question? Because I'm kind of floundering here. I need someone to talk to. I'm just like yapping on to myself. And I've wrote my little paper of stuff to talk about. So ask me a question, I'll talk back to you. Or don't. I'm not going to force you, you know. But I want to try and I want to do these shows more often. I'm honored that there's 5 of you who have actually taken the time off to tune in and watch me. But I want to try and build up the viewers, get more people coming in, have more people asking questions. The whole reason why I started doing this was so that people could ask me questions. I do get quite a lot of emails from people asking me how to build things or asking me for advice. And usually it's not like a simple question that I can just like email back in a couple of sentences. It's usually something quite complex, like here's a picture of something. How do I build it? And it's kind of like, well, there's a lot of freaking stages to go ahead and build something like that. And for me to take time off and to email everybody back is just not possible. So I thought that I could do a show like this, and people could tune in and could watch and could ask me questions, and I could answer them. And then I would just limit it to an hour and hopefully be able to answer lots and lots of questions. So here we've got someone popping up here. Who's that? So yeah, JayCosplay. I just recently discovered JayCosplay, who is a UK-based cosplayer. I think he might be Irish as well. I'm not sure. I saw something about under Cork or something like that. But yeah, he's a brilliant cosplayer and prop artist down somewhere in England. But last week, or maybe the week before, I featured him on my Sorenzo Sunday shoutouts, or Shoutout Sunday, and that's every week on a Sunday. Well, not every week, most Sundays. I try and find somebody who is doing some great work, who's doing something really inspiring, who is making something really cool and awesome. I did a little shout out on my page. So a couple of weeks ago, I featured Jay, and I also asked him to come on this show. So hopefully at some point, I will get him live via webcam, and we can have a chat about cosplay and about props and all that sort of stuff. And I can find out if he's actually Irish or not, or if he just lived in Cork for a bit. So yeah, Jay, thanks for tuning in, man. It's good to see you. So yeah, I want to get Jay in. I'd like to talk to him at some point. There's a couple of other people on my list that I would like to get in. But next week Is it next week? What date's today? No, not next week. Sorry, I lie. In 2 weeks. Let me get a calendar up. Yep, so 2 weeks on the 17th, we are going to have a guest live in the studio, and that is going to be Chris Asakura. Asakura Cosplay, who is a Scottish cosplayer here. He is a big hunk of a man, and he is going to be coming in to talk to me about cosplay and whatnot. And basically, we're just going to hang out and have some beers and shoot the breeze and see what happens. So he's going to be live in the studio in 2 weeks' time, and that is the 17th. Yeah, Tuesday the 17th. He's going to be there, so be sure to tune in. And if you've got any questions for him, or and ask them. I think there's a link up on my Facebook page to the event, so you can go ahead and sort of +1 that, say you're attending. And I want to then, after that, get in a couple more guests. I'm trying to feature some sort of local Scottish people who are nearby that can actually come to the studio and hang out. And then as the show gains popularity and we get a few more people watching, then I hope to branch out and talk to the likes of JayCosplay, excuse me, and a few other people in the UK. And then, you know, who knows, maybe we might expand and start talking to people around the world. I spoke about Bill Duran earlier on, and he said he wants me in his show, and I told him I want him on my show, but maybe not just yet, because someone like that, I want to make sure that people are watching. So the questions are coming in. Oh, here we go. It's Jay. Here's the answer to my question. He used to live in England and then moved to Cork, Ireland, and yes, looking forward to being on the show. Well, there you go. So he used to live in England, and he's now in Cork in Ireland. Brilliant. Not been in Cork in about 20 years, but it was really nice when I was there. So yeah, looking forward to getting Jay on the show. So here we go, another question coming in, and that's from Ross. Hi, Ross. Thanks for joining in. And his question is, what is the Scottish cosplay community like? And the Scottish cosplay community is it's growing. It really, really is growing. It's quite phenomenal. It's still quite small, still quite young. But it definitely is expanding every year. I can sort of see it grow. The cons are growing bigger and bigger. We had MCM 2 years ago for the first time. It was a one-day event, and a nice little day. There was lots of cosplayers. Last year, it was just crazy. There was cosplayers everywhere, and they're coming from all over the country. The masquerade was quite incredible. A lot of talent. They're very, very close knit. Everybody seems to know everybody, and it's really quite nice. You know, it's like a little family. Naturally, with every family, there's a little bit of drama. But no, they're all good fun, and I am really, really enjoying it. And it is starting to sort of expand. It's starting to move its way down into England. A lot of people are heading down to London, heading down to Birmingham, heading down to other conventions and hanging out. And yeah, it's a really, really great little community. So it is. Nothing in comparison to what in the States, of course, because it's just epic over there at the moment. But I think Scotland and the UK are really catching up. You know, people are really starting to embrace it. And like, who doesn't like dressing up and running around and having a good time? So more and more people are getting into it. And it's older people as well. It's not just kids that are doing it. You know, adults, growing up, people with reputable jobs are now figuring out that they can dress up as their favorite superhero. You know. And kids are just, you know, meeting up in town and walking around in their costumes like it's an everyday occurrence, which I think is absolutely brilliant. I don't think I could do it. I don't think I could cosplay unless I was actually going to an event where there was other cosplayers that couldn't walk around the streets. But yeah, it's a really, really, I don't know where you're from, Ross. McDonald. It would seem that you're Scottish with a McDonald name, a surname, but yeah, it's a really great little community. A lot of fun, a lot of cool people, having a good time. So yeah. There we go. Oh wait, what have we got here? Oh, Alex said no to watching the Sorenzo Prop Show. Okay, I got a tweet in. Let me see. Oh, goddamn! My for those of you who have iPhones, you probably can feel my pain. For those of you who don't have iPhones, never fucking get one, because my charger cable has broken yet again, my second, maybe third one from the iPhone 5, and it now only works when it's like bent like that in a certain way, which is a real pain in the ass, and they charge like 25 quid for a new cable. But sorry about that. So Mike is back on the tweets, and he still wants a headcast. Oh, you on about? I'm assuming you're on about my my $5 head casting method. Is that what you're on about, Mike? I think what he's on about. So head casts. Oh, he is. Head casts. Taking a casting off one's head so that you can do things with it, maybe make prosthetics, maybe make a helmet. Generally, you can use silicone, which is really, really detailed, and you can pick up all the details, and that's what they use like in the movies for actors to do prosthetics, to build silicone prosthetics onto it. You can do it with a product called alginate, which is the sort of food safe stuff. Dentists use it for your teeth for molding. And that's relatively cheap. You put the alginate on your face, and it's all cold and squishy, and then you wrap it in plaster bandages, and the bandage solidify, and then you take it all off, and you've got this sort of, it's like a silicone mold, but just a different product. They're quite expensive to take a long time, but they pick up a lot of detail. So I've got, I don't know if I developed it, but I have done, let me get it, hold on 1 second. Yeah. So this is my version of a head cast. I call it the duct tape head cast. So last year I asked to do some work for an independent movie, which is coming out quite soon. And one of them was to make quite a tight-fitting helmet for one of the female characters to turn her into a robot. And they hadn't got a lot of money. So what we did is we took her into the studio, and I put some fabric around her face, and then I covered her entire head with duct tape, just like this. I then split the back of it open, released her head, and then sealed it back up and filled it with plaster. So it is solid. So it is a really, really, really cheap and nasty way of getting a very, very, it's a rough, but it's a perfect size, perfect dimensions of your head. So if you want to do that, you need to get somebody that you trust to wrap your head in duct tape. It was a lot of fun doing that. I remember at one point she started freaking out and like, and we thought like maybe she couldn't breathe or something, but it turned out we were talking about a movie and she hadn't seen it, and we were about to spoil the plot. But no, it was all good. You can do this in about 10-15 minutes, and you know, for the price of raw duct tape, you can do a head cast, which is a lot of fun. A lot of fun. I want to do one of those myself. Mike, we'll have to we'll need to get you in, and we'll do some head casts of each other, and then we can do the helmet competition. So yeah, Ross just popped back up, and he is from Glasgow. Okay, so I'm assuming, Ross, that you don't know much about the cosplay community in Scotland. So let me help you out a little bit. Let me just go to the Facebook page, select the actual names. So social media is a great way of you know, finding out about things that are going on in your area, and there are a couple of pages that spring to mind that I'm quite regularly on that deal with cosplay. Let me just get my groups page up here. So one of my excuse me. So here we go. There's one that is called Scottish Cosplayers, a Facebook group. There is one that is called the CSM, which is the Cosplay Support Movement. And there is another one called the Glasgow Cosplay Group. And there was one more I was thinking about. Oh yeah, here we go. And then there is the 502nd Foam Army. So they are all cosplay related groups. So the Scottish Cosplayers is exactly what it says. It's a group full of Scottish cosplayers. There's lots of people who are chatting and talking and putting up progress pics of what they're building, finding out who's going to different events. They set up their own little events and meetups and stuff, and it's a great way to introduce yourself and to find out a little bit more about cosplay, and they're usually quite nice and quite supportive, and you can find out what's going on. Glasgow Cosplay Group is more or less the exact same thing, and they've got about 600 odd members, 660 members. So that's the Glasgow Cosplay Group, and in brackets it's got GCG. So you can find out a bit of information about cosplaying there. And again, those guys are really cool. What have they got at the moment? They've got some links to different things that are happening, people asking questions, people selling stuff. So there's all sorts of stuff going on there. The next one along, which started as a Glasgow thing but is now a UK thing, and it is the CSM, Cosplay Support Movement. So the CSM and then dash Cosplay Support Movement, and it is an amazing little group, and it is all about cosplay support. It's trying to do away with all the sort of negativity and the hatred and the bullying and the shaming that tends to happen, that can happen with cosplay. So it's a sort of anti-hate group supporting the rights to cosplay for anyone, anything and everything. It's your cosplay, so it's basically do what you want with no judgment, no attitudes and stuff like that. So it's a really nice place where people tend to hang out and talk to each other. And I would certainly recommend having a look on there. They're really, really helpful, and they support positivity. And again, you know, what's the point in doing cosplay if you're not going to have fun and have a good time and feel good about yourself and meet awesome people? And another one, which is foam related, which is the 502nd Foam Army. So this is kind of a little rebellion from the 501st, the Star Wars cosplaying groups. And this is for people who don't want to have screen accurate Star Wars stuff, who want to build it out of foam and don't give a shit, basically. So they're a lot of fun, and they're a group of guys, and obviously girls, that just build stuff out of build Star Wars stuff out of foam. So there's 4 pages. There's probably a lot more, but there are four groups on Facebook that I follow. So you should certainly check them out, and you can probably learn a little bit more about the cosplay community. There's a lot of events happening in Glasgow. There is the big Glasgow Comic Con page. They do markets and kind of event nights quite regularly. I think there's one in February and one again in March. They do an overage market and an underage market. The overage one naturally is in a pub, and we have a bit of a party. We've got Glasgow Comic Con, who also do markets and events, and there's they have Glasgow Comic Con that's in the CCA every year, and then MCM as well, which is great. It's a little bit expensive, it's a little bit crowded, but that's where all the cosplayers go. So certainly see about checking out one of them. The big Glasgow comic book page, regular events. I'm usually at them, and it's a great place to hang out and meet people, and everyone's dead friendly, you know. So you should go ahead and check that out, Ross. Excellent. Where are we now? Yeah, cosplay groups, lots of cosplay groups, and then you've got the bigger ones as well. There's I tend to stay away from the bigger ones. I think I'm a member of them, but I've turned off notifications because there's like millions of members, so you're just always getting notifications. But I think at the MCMs, they've all got groups, and it's mostly cosplay stuff that's spoken about in them. Sometimes talk about guests and that. But yeah, using Facebook is probably the best way to find out more about the community. Just introduce yourself, say hi, my name is. You don't have to have done cosplay before. If you have an interest in it, tell them what your favorite character is, tell them what you'd like to do, and they might be able to point you towards, you know, tutorials on how to go and make a costume and stuff like that. So yeah, check it out. I am dry from all this talking. Oh, got 10 minutes to go. There we go. So I can. Oh, I didn't realize I can. Oh, here we go. Right, I didn't realize that I can answer them. Oh, there we go. Sorry, technology. I'm a little bit behind. Here we go. That's your question answered and done. Right. Sorry, I'm just going to do my admin here and get them done. All right, done. Done. Oh, okay, here we go. JayCosplay. Jay has been asking me lots of questions, and I've missed them because they were down the bottom of the screen, so sorry about that, Jay. Which one came first? Okay, so Jay has asked me, here's the question he's asked me, select the question. What is your dream cosplay for yourself? Money, no object. And his is a full C3PO suit. But that's way off. Yeah, C3PO would be crazy because the chrome, dude. I know chrome. I love chrome, but it causes so many fucking problems. But my dream cosplay. I've been asked this like dozens of times, and it changes every time. At the moment, a big obsession is monster suits. I've been watching. Oh shit, what are they called? Oh, I'm not going to remember the name. There's a group of guys who are called something that I can't remember. that are currently building a life-size Godzilla suit, a kaiju suit, and it just looks absolutely incredible. It's all built out of like huge, big, high-density foam, like sort of like 20, 30, not 20, like 10, 15 mil thick foam. Absolutely crazy. So yeah, I've been doing a lot of YouTubing about monsters and sculpting and that sort of stuff. Past ones have been Pacific Rim pilot suit has been on there. What they call it, the big armored guy from the first Thor movie. I can't remember what he was called. That all eternal flames and lights up. That was on my list at one point. It changes so often. Something cool just presents itself on the internet. I'm like, oh, I must build that. But at the moment, I want to find these guys' names. It was a Sunday shout out. Can anybody remember? Is it Legacy? Not Legacy Effects, something or other. There's your shout out, Jay. No, there's nothing here. I can't find it. It's really pissing me off when you can't remember something. Come on, come on, come on, come on. There's the snow. Wow, I posted a lot of stuff. I really wish I could remember the name. It's going to be so obvious. No, I can't remember. It's on my Facebook page anyway. There's a group of guys that are making a Godzilla costume, and it's freaking awesome.
Are you still here?
I'm still here. I'm talking to the people on the internet. So.
All right.
Yeah. Are you? Am I last?
Well, I've got a bike. Well, leave lights on.
Yeah. Cool. I'll be
Is
finished.
the internet like here?
I don't know. Hopefully. I think there's a couple of people watching. They're asking me questions, so could be robots. I don't know. Yeah, there's 6 people watching. So yeah.
I'll go and switch computers off upstairs.
Catch you later, sir. Sorry for the interruption. So I will put a link to that Godzilla build later on. But yeah, at the moment it's all about monsters. I'd love to create a monster suit, but it would take a hell of a lot of money to do something like that. So, but yeah, it'll probably change next week. And am I going to KidCon? And I, at the moment, am not going to KidCon, but that may change. So it's going to be a sort of watch this space moment. I didn't buy a ticket, but that does not mean that I will not be going. And if I do get down there, we will hang out and we will film a thing. Absolutely no problem. So there we go. And there we go. Right. See, I've learned how to make this thing work. People ask me questions. I can select the question when I'm answering it, and then I can press done so they know the question has been answered. I did not realize this until today. So Ross said he is going down to London in March, and he's debating if he's going to costume or not. And thanks for the help. It's been super useful. Ross, costume. Do it. Cosplay. Get something. Do something. Even if you just put on a mask and a t-shirt, put on something, because if you don't, you'll get down there and you will see all these amazing people running around having so much fun in a costume. Some will have spent months building, some will have taken 5 minutes to make it, but you will be kicking yourself that you haven't done it. So I would say, yeah, get some form of costume, even if it is something really, really simple. There's going to be no pressure. No one's going to be like, oh, it's not your costume. Just do something. As like I said, even if you put on a mask, do something and go and have some fun. But it is definitely you're definitely gonna have a good time. If that's gonna be your first convention, it'll be a hell of fun. And if you see me, be sure to say hi, come up and talk to me. So yeah, do it. Get a cosplay. Do it. So yeah, excellent. Wow, time is nearly up. I can't believe we actually did that. No more tweets. No one coming in. So yeah, I would like to get some. Oh, here we go. We got another question coming in. I was just gonna start my sign off. So, oh, it's not popped up here. It's popped. Oh, there we go. It's on my. It's actually on my page. So this is from Kristaps. Chris. I met Chris at Okinawa, which was an anime convention here in Glasgow at the end of the summer. Or was it winter? Probably winter time. But Chris, he bid for on a charity auction. And the prize was to come here and see Sorenzo Props studio and hang out. So we hung out for a couple of hours and talked about props. I know he's got himself a Dremel and he's now starting to work with foam. and he asked me, am I going to Granite City Comic Con, which I think is happening in, is it March, April? I know it's quite soon. But yeah, Granite City Comic Con is up in Aberdeen. It's their first Comic Con up that end of the world. At the moment, wait, am I going? I think I might be going. I'm not sure. I'm not going officially, but I think I might be going. But I can't remember what date it is. But yeah, it's kind of like that, whether or not I'm going. But I want to go. I think it'd be cool to get up there. But you should definitely get on to the guys at Granite City Comic Con and tell them, hey man, you should get Sorenzo props up, and that would make it a lot easier for me to go. But yeah, tell them to invite me. That'd be awesome. So thanks for that. Thanks for that question, Chris. Where was that? I was on my page, wasn't it? There we go. Just refresh that. Oh, I'm overloading the internet with open pages. Close the tabs. You want to hear the sound that my laptop is making. 10 years old. Don't know how it's still going. So yeah, there we go. Chris, I hope he's watching. I'll have to respond to that. It's a private message. So yeah, so you guys have been watching, and that's absolutely brilliant. I want to try and do this more regularly. Like I said earlier on, the whole idea behind doing the show was to take an hour off once a week or once every 2 weeks and answer some questions and talk to you guys. Maybe you might have some specific questions about what you're doing. This what's it called? Google Hangout is brilliant. You can send in pictures and you can ask questions live as I'm talking. And it's a great way to actually connect with you guys and, you know, hopefully give a little something back. So I'm hoping that I can do them more regularly, that you guys can get more involved, maybe spread the word, tell your pals about it if they've got some questions about some stuff. We can answer a lot of questions. I want to get some more guests in so you can get other people's views on what's happening. People who deal with props, people who deal with costumes. I've got a couple of folk who are sort of Glasgow based or Scotland based who are going to come in. People like JayCosplay, there's another couple of prop artists that I want to get on the go. But basically, I want to try and do it more often, more regularly, get more people watching, and I can give more help and advice. No point in me doing this unless you guys actually want me to do it. So please feel free to send me a message or comment on the video and tell me what you like, tell me what you don't like. Am I talking a load of rubbish? Is there anything you'd like to see? Is there anybody you'd like me to get on the show? Is there anything that I do to improve it, to make it more, you know, enjoyable to watch? I know it is an hour of me just standing here talking is a little bit, probably a little bit draining. I don't even know if you can understand me and my Irishness, but yeah, please, any suggestions that you might have, feel free to send me a message. I'm not precious. I can take a bit of abuse. So if there's something you'd like me to do or different, go ahead and tell me. That is pretty much it. This will be live on YouTube as soon as I press the stop broadcast button. So if you've missed the beginning of it, you can sort of catch up and watch that. YouTube channel, all these Google Hangouts, all these Sorenzo prop shows go directly to YouTube, and you can watch the previous ones where I spoke to Mike from What You See Here Creative, and all the future ones. There's also all the other videos and all the other videos I'm going to make. So please subscribe to that. Go check out my Facebook page. I know Facebook is more or less dead now, but that's where I still post most of my stuff. But I'm also on Twitter and Instagram and Tumblr and like. So go ahead and check me out there. I would like to thank you 7 people for watching. Hi, Mom. Sorry for not calling. I'll give you a shout later. Yeah, and that's it for me. Be sure to tune in on the 17th, yeah, Tuesday, at this, I think we're set 8 o'clock with Chris Asakura Cosplay. We'll be live in the studio and we'll be getting drunk and talking about costumes and stuff. And thanks everybody who asked the questions. Till next time. See you later. And stop.